What's going on, people? Welcome back to Curtis Shaw TV, back with another live stream. Happy New Year, people. Happy 2026. And I still turned up late again today, people. And I thought I'd have left that in 2025, but it's obviously a part of me, people. But nah, big up to everyone. Hope you had a great start to the year. And, you wake up every day, you don't know what day it is at the moment. I'm like, is it Saturday? Is it Wednesday? I don't know what's going on, but listen, we're here. Arsenal back tomorrow against Bournemouth away, another big game. And we'll evaluate that game, press conference reaction, all of that stuff. Look ahead to the team news. And obviously the watch along will be tomorrow. In case I haven't seen you all in the last few streams, big up to everyone who has supported the channel over the last few years, hopefully, or whether you've just turned up. Big up yourself. Total hits. So basically, I am going to email you back. Apparently, it's stuck at customs because something to do with they're saying that more money needs to be paid for the delivery to be completed. So yeah, I have got an update and I will get back to you and I'll sort that out as well. So yeah, big up to you and apologies for that. Big up Dom, big up to everyone, man. Have a positive 2026. Um, and yeah, man, let's make it a prosperous year and let's hope that Arsenal make it a prosperous year, people. You know what I mean? It's about time that we were supporting the champions of this country, or maybe the champions of Europe. Put a star above that badge. Something great needs to happen this season. That is for damn certain. But big up to everyone. Hope you're well. We'll get into today's show. The Ginger Light Bulb said, "Would you give Jesus a new contract?" No, 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 no. I wouldn't. Um, no, no, I wouldn't. I've got to. I've got to see something happen for the rest of the season. I've got to see him stay fit. I've got to see him stay consistent. He's on over 200 grand a week. Nah, nah. There's no new contract for me. We've done that too many times, Arsenal. You know. Um, yeah, I'll let you know. I got your email. I did look into it. I'm gonna drop you a message back. But no, I wouldn't be giving Jesus a new contract. He's got a year left. Listen, if he had an unbelievable run from now till the end of the season, was our number one striker, we won the league, and he's got a year left, I'd maybe say, okay, I'll give you a 1 year extension. I'm not sitting down and giving the guy a new 5 year contract because you can't get caught up in emotion when it comes to business. The guy's injury prone and inconsistent, But yeah, listen, if he got us over the line and he was the main man, I might say, okay, we'll give you a 1 year extension just for what you've done for us. But a new deal, nah, not for me. He's in his late 20s. He's injury prone. He's on massive wages. I think you could go and get somebody else a little bit younger. Um, and if we if we win the league, I feel like we will be looking at. Well, let's put it this way. Most times when a team wins the league, the attack is one of the biggest reasons that they've won the league. I think our attack would be close to the back of the queue in this team. I would look at the defense. I think the defense has probably been the main thing. The goalkeeper's been immense. The midfield has improved, especially with Declan Rice. He's been probably the main part of that midfield. The attack has probably been the most where you're a bit like, Saka's not been at his best. Gyökeres hasn't been great. Trossard's put up the biggest numbers of our attack, but even he's not playing at like PFA Player of the Year award level. I think we probably need two new attacking players in the summer. To be honest, I think we need a new left winger. I think we're probably going to need another striker. I'll be totally honest with you, and people might think that's crazy when you've just signed Gyökeres. But if we're being honest, and I've said loads of things on here about Gyökeres, we might need to get somebody else. Because the reality of the situation is, while Arteta is the manager of the club, you need players that fit his system. Whatever that striker looks like, that's the reality of the situation. I think if we looked at it right now, Arteta probably didn't want Gyökeres. And he probably didn't want him because he didn't think he fitted into his system. But because there were doubts over Sesko, and remember, Sesko apparently was put off by Havertz, wasn't sure about coming to Arsenal. Berta's probably said, well, why are we going to spend 70 million on a guy that is intimidated by Havertz that doesn't even have a great goal record? Let's get the guy that has just scored 97 goals in 2 years. And I think he's gone, okay, we'll go for that. So I think at the end of the season, Arsenal might need a striker. I think you've got to go again. That's the reality of football, people. People go, yeah, we just spent 65 million. Okay, it didn't work. Go again. Go again. You know, go and get Alvarez. Go and spend 100 million on Alvarez. Go and spend 70 million on Leao. Go and spend 70 million on Morgan Rogers. I think you could completely, even if we won the league, I would transform this attack. I would get rid of probably Martinelli. I would get rid of Havertz. I would get rid of Jesus. I'd go and get 2 or 3 attacking players through the door. Even if they won the title this season, I'll go and get more. Now, that's not me saying get rid of Gyökeres and bin him. That's me saying, listen, bro, this is a big football club. We can't wait around for you to become the player we need you to be. Whether it's your fault or it's Arteta's fault or it's the system's fault, if it's not working, you've got to go again. You've got to go again. And then maybe Gyökeres ends up on the bench. That's football, people. That's football. That's just the reality of the situation. Aiden says, Big C, I've seen enough. I haven't said it in any of the years we've been challenging because I've been too cautious, but this is our year. Well, I hope so. But I'll be honest, I thought 23-24 was our year. Not 22-23. I was always concerned they were going to catch us. But 8 points gave me the belief. 23-24, I thought we had it. Last year, we never had even one hand on that trophy. So I just can't get caught up in it. Listen, in private, I have moments. And even on the stream, I've had moments. When we went 3-1 up against Bayern Munich, I went, we're the best team in the world. We're going to win it. Then I saw us at Sunderland. Then I saw us at Chelsea. And I went, I'm not going to allow myself to get carried away. I think we've got a good chance. But until Odegaard's lifting that Premier League title, I won't allow myself to get carried away, but I like the optimism and I understand it. Coolio, sorry, Curtis, do you like the royal family? I mean, they're the royal family. I don't really have too many thoughts on them, to be honest. You know what I mean? I gotta make sure the gas can stay on. It's cold outside, people. You know what I mean? I ain't really thinking about the royal family too much. I gotta make sure the radiator can stay on during the cold months. That's all I'm concerned about, people. You know what I mean? So let's not say too much. Benjamin said, hey up Big C, Happy New Year. Honest question, since the start of 22-23, if we substituted all our attackers with the exception of the number 10s for all of Chelsea's, do you think we'd have won the league? I mean, I don't think Chelsea's attack's that great, to be honest. Cole Palmer, apart from Cole Palmer, who would you really be desperate to take out of Chelsea's attack? Esteval's a good young player. But no, I'm probably not. I don't think that would have got us over the line. And to be honest, we buy most of Chelsea's players anyway, Benjamin. Aiden, the best teams are not complacent. They're hungry for more. Exactly. If Arsenal win the league, a lot of people think that's the finish line. That's the starting line for me. And people might think, that's crazy. No, that's the finish line. You've waited 20 years. The title is the promised land. If we win the Premier League this year, I want to see dominance. Because if we're the best team in this country, Pep's on his way out in the next year or two. I need to see, you know, we watched Klopp win the league, the Champions League, the FA Cup, the League Cup, the Club World Cup, the Super Cup. Got to another Champions League final. If we win the Prem, I need the Champions League. If we win the Champions League, I need the Prem. I need 2 FA Cups. I need you to dethrone Manchester City and go and win 6 trophies in the next 3 or 4 years. That's what he's supposed to do. This is what I always said, people, about Arsene Wenger. Arsene Wenger, for me, underachieved at Arsenal. And a lot of people don't like that comment. For me, if you can win a Premier League title invincible, you're meant to win multiple titles. And you're meant to win the Champions League. How can Porto win a Champions League, but the Invincibles can't win a Champions League? We underachieved. So I'm hoping that once we break down that barrier, Arteta can then become one of the top managers. And then the players go to another level. Because if Arsenal win the Prem, Declan Rice probably wins PFA Player of the Year. You're looking at Saliba, Gabriel, all of them. You're going, well, he's world class. He's world class. He's won the Prem. So it needs to be the starting line, where we build from it and keep going and keep dominating. Cope said, Happy New Year to you and your family. The best community on YouTube, not being active on the streams because of traveling, but always watching. Big up to you. Big up to everyone, man. It's a crazy time of year. Even me, I haven't been on stream for 2 days. Family are around, we're going out for food and, movie nights and all of this. So the schedule will be back to normal next week. We have got a massive month coming up and we're going to talk about it a little bit more. Darkside said, get me Alvarez and get me Leao. I mean, that would transform our attack, although I'm not sure Leao would work under Arteta. What's our most technical free flow in 11? I think front three would be Saka, Jesus, Trossard. I think that's the most technical. I think Jesus technically is one of the best footballers at the club. But the goal record is obviously what's let him down over the years. He's a fantastic player. I'd love to see a team with Eze and Odegaard in it together, to be honest. I don't think we'll see it often, but I wouldn't mind seeing that. I actually think Hincapié can put pressure on Calafiori at left back as well. Cole Regal, I would loan MLS out. He was terrible last game. Listen, I'm a big fan of Skelly, but he's got caught in a grey area where he's come through the youth team as a centre midfielder, balling out. By the way, from what I hear, I wouldn't loan him out. By the way, Cole, I wouldn't. He's come through, played a lot of football at left back without being a defender. He's tried to adapt quickly. It's gone great. I'm in the England squad. I'm in the Arsenal team. I've signed a new contract. Yeah, I make the odd mistake, but everything's going good. All of a sudden, Calafiori's got him out the team. His confidence doesn't look right when he comes into the side now. Sometimes a footballer, you need to play every week. Some footballers aren't good at just dropping in and out of a team. I think you've got a situation with Lewis Skelly now where you've got to look at him and say, okay, he's done well. He's got to a point. Is he a left back or is he a centre midfielder? That's what I think Arsenal have now got to say. I remember for years people were sitting there saying, Trent, not great at defending. He'll end up in midfield. He didn't actually get into midfield, did he? He went in midfield for England and it didn't work. I'm looking at Skelly now and saying, you've either got to coach him and make him become a quality left back. He's only a teenager. People have to remember, Ashley Cole was a left winger. He became probably the best left back the Premier League's ever seen. You can coach players. You can improve players. Do we say Skelly is a left back, we coach him, we trust him, we work with him, but at the moment you're not going to be first choice? Or do we say you had a good run at left back, but clearly you're not defensive minded and use him in rotation as a midfielder? Lewis Skelly is a very talented footballer. Very talented. I would play him in midfield. I would make him a midfielder and I would play him and let him. He could even be the Declan Rice rotation because he's got that energy to get forward. He's got that bit of aggression. He can carry the ball. Maybe not as good defensively, but I think now I would say you're probably not a left back. We can use you there if we need you, but I would use him as a midfielder. We're short in midfield, although we're being linked with midfielders today. Big up Matty, man. He said, Happy New Year, brother. See you in the chat. What's the latest with Declan? City stumbling and bumbling. It's paramount we add to that lead tomorrow. Right, Matty, big up yourself. Big up the community locked in. Don, by the way, said, Curtis, maybe Arteta has had a chat with him being a centre mid in the future. We just want to see it. Bring him on for 20 minutes in midfield. We got Portsmouth next week in the FA Cup. Start Skelly in centre mid. Don't play Declan Rice. Let's have a look at him. You know, you got to trust these players. Right, we're going to briefly talk about yesterday. I said I was always going to avoid doing watch-alongs of Man City until late in the season because they cause you pain when you think they're going to drop points. What a horrific day of Premier League. Look at the state of that. 4 games in the Premier League yesterday, 4 draws and 2 goals. This is what they want for Amazon Prime, Sky Sports, TNT Sports, you know, ITV, whatever else you're watching it on. That's what you're delivering us. Well, the players must have all been out on New Year's Eve because I don't know what this is. 0-0, Liverpool Leeds. 0-0, Sunderland Man City. 0-0, Brentford Tottenham. You need to breathalyze these players. Look at the state of that. This is why we got to win this league, people. I'm telling you, it's weak right now. But listen, we're not bothered. Liverpool Leeds, you know, they're saying slot out. The Liverpool fans fuming. Brentford Tottenham, I mean, who cares? Granit. Listen, do you know what? Everyone was talking about Granit Xhaka. And I get it. Former Arsenal player. Played well. Cool. I get it. Respect. Let's talk about that brother, Mukiele. That's who I was talking about. Everyone, oh, Xhaka, Granit. I'm talking about Mukiele, bro. The brother who was at PSG. Because he was roughing up Haaland for the majority of that game yesterday. That was the hero for me. Do you know what I'm saying? He roughed up Haaland. That's how you got to deal with that Viking, man. You know what I mean? Get close to him and be aggressive. Wrapped him up. Haaland's head was all over the place. He didn't miss chances. His touch was off. Mukiele bullied him. Xhaka's doing really well there. I am happy for him, to be honest. And listen, in all fairness, I mean, first off, Sunderland had big chances. Second half, Man City had big chances. I mean, they had more shots, more possession, Man City, but they draw. And the way they're playing at the moment, a draw is good. You take that, you know, you take that all day long. And it's something to work with because they keep winning at the moment. And it's just like a draw is like a defeat at the moment because City just won't drop points. Yo, big up views with the raid, man. Big up, make sure you're following views on sport, people. Big up with the raid. Appreciate that. But yeah, listen, it was positive, and that should have given Arsenal now a spring in their step. Let's be real. That should have given Arsenal a spring in their step. They've dropped points. They've got Chelsea this weekend. The whole dynamics with Chelsea has changed. Maresca. We're now hearing sort of that Maresca might have walked from Chelsea, which is crazy. That guy's a madman. What do you guys make about Maresca leaving Chelsea? Won 2 trophies. Apparently was disagreeing with the medical staff. Medical staff saying that players are not fit to play or can't play the whole game, and then he's playing them the whole game. Had 2 meetings with Manchester City, 1 meeting with Juventus. Clearly, he looks at Chelsea as the side piece, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, interesting. And the people they're being linked with is crazy as well. Liam Rossini. I'm like, yo, Chelsea have changed, man, you know what I mean? But we're hoping a little spring in their step when they go to the Etihad this weekend, although Caicedo is suspended, which isn't good. I rate it, you know. I actually rate it. Do you know why I rate it, people? Because managers don't walk nowadays. They don't walk. Because if you leave a club, you don't get your pay up. So if he's got, what, a couple of years left on his deal at Chelsea, he's probably on, I don't know how much he's on, but maybe 3, 4, 5 million. He's probably walked away from millions of pounds at Chelsea just to say, you know what, I don't like the way you lot are running the club. I'm in charge. This owner seems to think he's the manager. I'm out of here. Juventus want me. Man City want me. I don't need to be it. I won you 2 trophies. I'm off. I rate it. I rate it, to be honest. So, yeah. That manager, that owner seems to want to be the manager. Do you know what I mean? It looks like he wants to be the manager. So, but yeah, that's their issue. But yeah, listen, it should be a positive for us to build on because now we know that because we play before Manchester City, Man City play on Sunday, we play tomorrow. We're currently 4 points clear of City. If we can beat Bournemouth, we get back to 7 points. They've then got Chelsea. And we just got to hope that Chelsea can maybe get a point. I don't see Chelsea beating Man City at the Etihad. But even if they got a point, something to build off. But we have to keep winning. We've just got to keep doing our job. One thing about Man City, I just think they're nowhere near as good as us defensively. I think we're way better than them. Every time I watch them play, they concede big chances. Do you know what I mean? They got Nunes at right back, and Diaz was getting bullied by a Brobby yesterday. But they're free flowing in attack. So yeah, it's interesting, but I don't want to get too caught up in Manchester City. Of course, it's always great when your rival drops points. You'd be crazy not to watch and smile when you see them draw, and Pep didn't look happy. We've got to keep winning games. We've got a huge month for football. I can't believe the fixtures that we've got this month. Let me just show you the month ahead. 9 games this month, people. More than a 9, guys. More than a 9. 9 games in January. This month might really, really steer us in one direction or the other direction, depending on what that is. You're right. Yeah, that's the thing. Tunnel vision. So we start tomorrow. Bournemouth away. As I said, the rumour is, and I don't know how true this is, the rumour is Manchester City did not complete the signing of Semenyo this week to allow him to play against Arsenal this weekend. How crazy is that? That's what they're saying out there, people. Semenyo, City could have got the deal tied up this week. They've allowed the deal to go into the weekend so that he plays for Bournemouth against Arsenal. That is crazy work from Pep and City. Can you imagine if he got injured and the deal was off? If I was Semenyo, I'd be saying, brother, you're mad. If I was Semenyo, I wouldn't be playing. I'm telling you now. That guy mashes up his leg tomorrow. You ain't never playing for Man City or anyone like that. So I can't believe he's doing that. But yeah, interesting tactics from Manchester City, and he's a boyhood Arsenal fan. So it's nasty work, man. Yeah, it's nasty work. He better not score against us. So we got Bournemouth away on Thursday. Liverpool. What a game that is on Thursday night. We got to beat them. We've got to beat them. I'm telling you now. Like, we owe them one from what happened at Anfield. No Mo Salah. At the weekend, Sunday, we got Portsmouth FA Cup away down at Fratton Park. Then on the Wednesday, Chelsea, first leg of the Carabao Cup. Then 3 days later, again, Forest away in the league. 3 days later, again, Inter Milan away. The only thing is now, we've pretty much qualified in the Champions League. So even for Inter, I know you desperately want to win, but would I necessarily go full strength? Maybe not. Then we got Man United, always a big game. Then we've got Kairat at home, should beat them, should be able to rotate. Then Leeds away, and then just going into February, Chelsea. We literally play a game every 3 or 4 days until the end of the month. Big games. Rotation is going to be vital for these games. You look at Portsmouth, heavy rotation there. Kairat, heavy rotation. Arteta's really going to have to earn his money this month. He's got to get this month right because we can't afford injuries to mount up. And these are important games, important games. By the end of this month, we could be in a cup final at Wembley. Do you know what I mean? Which we haven't been for years under this manager. I'm so excited to watch Arsenal in a cup final, or do a stream in a cup final. I've never done a stream on this channel for Arsenal in a cup final. It has to happen this year. Don't listen, right? And people, me, the narrative is always that, I'm against Arteta. I always say, Arteta's part of the gang, people. While he's the manager of Arsenal, he's one of us. And the one thing I've never questioned about Arteta is his passion for the club. I believe Arteta loves Arsenal. And I know 15 million a season will make you love him a little bit more, let's be real. But I do believe Arteta loves Arsenal. He cried when he left the club. He's come back. I think I've never questioned his passion. It just needs to work this year. He needs to show that he's learned his lesson. And if he does, this season can change everything for him, for the club. If he wins the league at Arsenal, all of a sudden, he can go and get the Barcelona job. He can go and get the PSG job. He will be classed as a top upcoming young manager. And that changes his direction. He'll get a new contract at Arsenal on probably 20 million a season. He'll be one of the highest paid managers in the world. I'll apologise to him if he wins the league. But I always say this. I want an apology for the last 3 years then. I'll say that to him in the press conference. Trust me. If we win the league, I'll say, Mikel, the community say I owe you an apology because I questioned you and you won the league this year. So I want to say sorry. You're a better manager than I thought. However, I think you owe me an apology for the last 3 years because the last 3 years, I've really suffered. You know what I'm saying? The security guard will probably say, have a quick word with you. No, outside. Yo, get your arm off me, man. What are you doing? Be getting the Babs treatment. You know what I'm saying? Big up C Unit. There is a little gooner on the way. There we go. There we go. Happy New Year. Hitting that target. Big up yourself, man. Another gooner on the way. Hopefully being born into greatness. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. Big up Jamboy. Happy New Year, Curtis. On 56 subs now. Thanks, people, and views. Ray, big up. Get Jamboy up to 100, man. I'm telling you, anyone who's part of the community, you know what I mean? We try and support them, get people to their next, landmark that they're aiming for. Big up. Don said, Curtis, you can't blame him for the last 3 years. He was only 3 years in management and inexperienced. I know, but that's not our fault, is it, bro? You know what I'm saying? That's not our fault. He did his apprenticeship at Arsenal, man. That was tough to watch. But hopefully he's, got the full-time job now. Anyway, let's move on. I'm 30 minutes in. I have waffled. You might end up respecting Arteta same as he respects you. Listen, I'm reasonable. Honestly, and I've said this all the time, Arteta, on a personal level, on the tours, has been a gentleman with me. Honestly, cool guy. Even at the end of the tour last year, he was walking by, he was pushing his suitcase, he stopped, shook hands. I said, this year you got to win that title. He said, we're going to try. I said, all the best. It's not personal, people. I'm telling you out, it's not personal. I want this guy to win the league. I want him to have a statue. If he's got a statue outside the Emirates, we've probably won the Champions League. Big up Darkside Gooner. Thanks for shouting me out the other day. See, just hit 1.1k subs. Big up to yourself, Darkside Gooner. Anybody who's got a YouTube channel, a business, something productive, promote. I might not see the comment. If I do, I'll try. But if not, promote people. There's over 2,000 people in it. Free promotion. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, come on, Arteta, man. This is the year. This is the year. We need it. If it don't happen this year, I think I've got to walk away like Craig David. I'm walking away from the troubles in my life. I'll have to. Honestly, I'll have to take up another sport. I'll be a darts fan. Luke Littler. We'll do watch-alongs for the darts. 180! You know what I mean? Although Joey Barton says darts players aren't sportsmen. Have you guys seen Joey Barton's comments about darts players? He said basically they're fat pub men or something who can't play real sports, which is crazy. But that guy's a madman, isn't he? Big up Tony Claude Gunner TV. Big up Curtis, my brother. Smash the likes, people. Appreciate that, bro. Big up Big C helping the little guys. Go, no, man, listen, like, the one thing you have to always understand within yourself is always remain humble. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't sit here going, oh, I've got 100k. Like, yeah, it's nice to say you got 100k. But I was there with 4 subscribers, 0 subscribers, 100 subscribers. Do you know what I mean? So if you can help somebody, then why not? You know, why not? 2026, people. Good karma, good vibes. Big up Fitz, he said, forgive me, I'm behind on the stream. Getting a striker to fit Arteta's system that has won absolutely nothing does not matter. Listen, and I'm with you, bro, because I said it before. If you can't get a golden boot winning Aubameyang, a Gerd Muller winning Gyökeres, then something's wrong. But ultimately, this system is built for a false 9. It is. It is. Like, ideally, what you need is the better version of whatever Jesus and Havertz is, or Marino. Those players seem to fit the way we play more than Aubameyang playing on the shoulder, more than Gyökeres playing on the last defender. So we really need to buy the best possible version of that. Is probably what we need. You know, that's what this system is built around. I'll be honest with you. Now, I don't like that because I think another manager could take Gyökeres and he scores a lot of goals. But the way we play at the moment, it's just not working. It's not, and that's the reality of the situation. To be honest, I I feel like I've watched Alvarez a lot. Alvarez did play at times in the 10 at Man City when Haaland was up front, so I would think Alvarez could do that job. The problem with Alvarez, he's going to cost a fortune. You know, I think he's got 100 million release clause. So are Arsenal going to go again and drop that much money on a striker? But apparently they're saying he wants to leave. I'm seeing him linked with Barcelona. So, and they're going to need a striker. Lewandowski's, I think, 37, 38 years of age. But would you do a swap deal for Sesko? No. No. I never wanted that guy at the club. He ain't exactly pulling up trees at United, is he? Let's be honest. Right, let's move on, people. I am waffling today. I can't lie. 2026. I haven't streamed for 2 days, so we needed to catch up on the waffle. And by the way, yeah, he has won an FA Cup, but you know that was during lockdown. Since we haven't seen anything. You know, the transfer window is officially open. Daily Dusan. Dusan Vlahovic is out of contract this summer, by the way. I'm sure we'll be linked with him at some stage. But we're not going to be linked with him today, people. The link today, oh, guys, more than you can believe, guys, Arsenal are being linked with a move for Bayern Munich star Leon Goretska. But Tottenham are also in the mix to sign him. And listen, I don't know how great a link this is. If you read this whole story, it sounds like Tottenham are ahead of Arsenal in the race for Goretzka. Not because they're better than us, but he wants guaranteed first-team football. He's not the first-choice midfielder at Bayern Munich under Vincent Kompany. He hasn't started any of the Champions League games, and he's being rotated in the league. He's obviously concerned about his place in the German squad, and he wants first-team football. It would be a loan, by the way. Apparently, it's a loan. He's on big wages, although they're saying it's not clear yet whether Bayern Munich are going to sign off on letting him go or not. They're obviously very keen to try and win the Champions League. Goretzka is 30 years of age, big guy, a lot of Champions League. I'm going to be honest with you, Peter. Goretzka. It all depends on what our situation is. It all depends on what our situation is. And what I mean by that is, if we've got money to spend, I don't think this is the kind of player you go for. I thought a couple of years ago Goretzka was a real top player. He's not the same player now. He's come back like a bodybuilder, hasn't he? He's massive now. But if we are no money and it's simply a loan to boost the squad, would you be totally against a player like him on loan? Is he better than Norgard? He is better than Norgard, I would say. You know, a couple of years ago when we played them in the Champions League, he was really good. It depends what the situation is. I feel this, to me, feels like a Draxler. It feels like one of them players that, okay, from years ago we wanted him, but you know, Goretzka to me now, it feels like buying something from a supermarket that's out of date. And you're going, oh, no, just cook it for a bit longer. You know, you can burn the bacteria off it. Nah, not for me. Not for me. But I don't know what the situation is with Arsenal. If we haven't got money to spend and you just need a decent player on loan to boost the squad with winning experience, I suppose it's not the worst signing in the world. But if there's money to spend, I'm afraid for me, it's a hard pass on this for me. You know what I'm saying? This is the sales stick of food in the supermarket at 10 o'clock at night that's going out of date. You know what I mean? I want someone young, energetic, that can... I don't mean young. I don't want like an 18-year-old with little experience. I want somebody that... But it's not the answer. I'd let him go to Tottenham. You know, I'd let them have the stale bread with the bacteria growing on the side of it. And I always panic when I think, why would Bayern Munich let a 30-year-old German international go on loan when they're trying to win the Champions League? They don't exactly have millions of centre midfielders. They've already let Paulinho go on loan. There's something wrong behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying? And I reckon this guy's slow as well. You know what I mean? I would like some mobility in midfield. So I wouldn't be overly keen on this one. What do you guys think? I think he's probably washed. Um, but yeah, it's not the kind of signing that makes you go, oh, they're going to go and win the league with that one. You go, they're scraping up some leftovers from Bayern Munich. Plus, Bayern Munich, they were cheeky after we beat them. I don't want us to go there. Oh, if you got anyone in the recycling bin we can take. Nah, let's go and create another star player. Dash said, Curtis, we need to get another body in at right back. It might come back to bite us. What do you think? Dash, the problem you've got with right back, somebody said that yesterday, in the previous video, said Arsenal need to buy a right back. And I went, well, you've got Timber, who's fit now. You've got Ben White, who's back on the bench. And Mosquera was the centre-back that can play at right-back cover, the third choice. Remember, he's out until the end of January. We're now at the start of January. So within the next 3 or 4 weeks, he should be back. How do you convince a right-back to come to Arsenal when you've got Timber and Ben White fit? You know, he's not even going to make the bench if those two are fit. Then when Mosquera comes back, you've signed him. And now, listen, you could get into a situation where Ben White's injured, Timber's injured, and we're desperate. But I don't see a decent right back that's willing to come to Arsenal with those two right backs being there. If I'm a good right back in a World Cup year and you're trying to sign me, I'm going, you got Timber and Ben White, mate. I'm not coming anywhere near that football club. I'm not going to get game time. World Cup year is totally different. I actually think now, a few weeks ago, I sat here and I thought, I'm not sure we're going to do much business in January. I just don't think we've got the money. I think we're going to get one, maybe two players in, but I think we're going to get one. Because I just always think in a World Cup year, you can get a good player on loan from somebody that's not getting the right amount of game time, even if we haven't got big money. I think you could get someone. Anana, yeah, everyone's having a go at Anana because he did that 3-point celebration and then Gabriel did it back. But I think we've missed the boat on that one. LSG said, a big year coming for me this year. 2 babies on the way, separated by a month. Hope Arsenal can get me through this. I mean, listen, it sounds like you had a very active 2025, you know what I'm saying? 2 babies separated by a month. Yo, bro, you better get your money right, bro. You know, you're going to have a whole heap of nappies and baby wipes and baby milk to buy. But no, it's a blessing, man. Big up yourself. You'll be fine, I'm sure. You know what I mean? Just don't do what happened to Odegaard. He looked like he was lactating when his missus gave birth. We didn't see him for 6 months. Scarza said, Trossard is vital for us. And he's shouting out Ciara. Yeah, big up, man. Big up. Trossard is the Freddie Ljungberg of Arsenal, in my opinion. You know, yeah, do you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Man's doing squad rotation. You know what I mean? 2 baby mums. It is what it is, man. More life, more life. Ja Rastafari. You know what I'm saying? Fitzjoseph, forget about another striker. What we should be doing is getting a Rice replacement as Norgard, ain't it? Rice needs a long rest to be ready for later. Yeah, I want to see an energetic centre midfielder come through the door. That's what we need. Why was me said Luka Modric, great talent, 25 years old, perfect age. Luka Modric, yeah, probably 10 years ago. He's still balling at AC Milan, by the way. You know, he'd have probably been good for 12 months, but the Prem's so quick. Temiola, Curtis, you doubted Zubi, you wanted a Nana? Nah, but listen, I wanted a Nana as well as Zubi. Yeah, as well as Zubi. A Nana, for me, should have been like what Norgard is. The powerhouse that can come in and be a squad player, but he costs nearly 50 million. So, but Onana's a beast, bro. I'd take Onana at Arsenal today. Look at how he played against us in that first half. He was just, our midfield was like the Red Sea when he was running through. So, that Buwadi, I don't know enough about him, to be honest. He looks a bit like Guendouzi, but I know a lot of you rate him. I honestly, I'm not gonna do up the scout settings. I don't know enough about him. Is an 18-year-old from the French league the kind of player that we need if Declan Rice is out injured? Don't get me wrong, he could come in and be a young superstar, but is he going to be able to handle that kind of expectation? I would like somebody who's done a little bit, not necessarily old, but just If Rice is out, he can step in and just handle it. Yeah, real bad man, 23 baby mother. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's what it gets like that sometimes, you know. It gets like that. I just want to bring up a quote from Arteta's press conference. I don't like to read into his comments because, you know, I don't speak waffleese, but he said, I thought this comment was interesting. He said, he was asked about January transfer window. He said, we are open to every option. If we can find a solution that is short, medium, and long, it's always much better. But let's see what happens. Let's see what the news is in the next few weeks, and we'll try and make the right decision. Now, I'm thinking, I'm trying to, you know, Google Translate waffleese here, people, and, you know, figure out what he means. But what I'm thinking is, he's sort of saying that we could get a loan or we could sign somebody permanent, long term. Yeah, and pause, by the way, pause. You know what I'm saying? Pause. But you know what I mean? Long term or short term. I thought we ain't got no money. We couldn't buy Nkapie. It had to be a loan, so we'll probably get a loan. But him insinuating that makes you think maybe we could sign somebody. However, it's waffle settings. He could be talking absolute nonsense. He could be making people think that we've got money to make it look like we're active, but then when the window closes and we ain't done nothing, oh, guys, we didn't find the right player, guys. So who knows? He knows the fans are going to go mad if he comes out and says we can't do anything in January. So it might be his way of just tagging us along. The hair, by the way, I mean, look at that. It's immaculate. I'll be honest. It is immaculate. You know, I've changed hairstyles in the past few weeks, you know, adaptation period, but that is a work of art. There's not a hair out of place. I mean, you could literally just unclip that. You know the Lego figure where it had the little pointy bit and it just clipped onto the hair? I mean, honestly, that should be... He should be a Lego character. He genuinely should. They need to bring out a Mikel Arteta Lego character. And if we win the title, I will buy it and give it away in the community for Christmas next year. It's a masterpiece. I can't. People are saying it's a wig. I mean, as long as he wins the league, I call him Cone Man. If it's, you know, Lego Man, whatever. As long as he wins that title, then. But if not, do the Goretska, mate. Do the right thing. Anyway. You know what I'm saying? Hey, listen, man, it gets like that. You know what I mean? It gets like that. Man said it's an AI hairline. AI hairline, people. Big up Arteta. Winners the league. Otherwise, you're going to have to go, mate. Here we go. He looks very calm. He looks very, you know, he's had a shave. He's happy. Remember, he's good friends with, what's his name? The Bournemouth guy? Areola. They're good friends, aren't they? They're good friends. So, people have to remember, by the way, that they beat us home and away last season. Home and away, and I'm not talking about the Australian soap from 20 years ago with the milkshake little place that they had, you know. Closer each day, home and away. You got to be old school to really understand that. That was bad TV, but it seemed good back then. You know, when you just had 5 channels. I know I'm doing up, you know, settings here, but can you believe we used to survive on 5 TV channels? 5. I've got 1,000 now, and I can't find anything to watch. I can't find anything to watch. I'm on YouTube or Netflix. I don't even watch TV. 5 channels, and yet I had things to watch. Now I've got 1,000, and I can't find nothing to watch. It's crazy. You had 3 channels. Madness. Absolute madness. How could we survive on 3 channels? And to be honest, out of the 5, you never watched BBC 2, because that just never showed anything. Channel 5 turned up. They tried to do a little bit. Yeah, home and away and neighbours. Everybody needs good neighbours. It was mad. I was survived. They don't realise the struggles. I tell my kids all the time, you don't even understand. Wi-Fi is a privilege. Wi-Fi is a privilege, people. Dial-up internet was a whole different generation. On LimeWire, waiting 25 minutes for one track. One track. Just so I could put it on a blank CD. They don't get it. Yeah, Brookside. Madness. Can't even go on YouTube and watch the goals. I've got to stay up till 10:30 to watch the highlights. I'm asleep by 11:30. I never even seen the Stoke versus Bolton highlights at the end of match of the day. I was done by that. Anyway, let me move on. I know 2026, I'm still doing unks. I'm still doing an unk status, you know, but it is what it is. Yeah, Brookside was legendary, man. Jimmy Corkill, you know what I mean? Liverpool and all that. It was madness. It was madness. Anyway, let's move on. Let's move on before it turns into a TV watch along. Let's hear what the Cone Man's saying. Mickey Rouse, the boss. Cone Man music. This is the year. This is the year. If you are still the manager of this football club by the start of 2027, then you should be a title winning or a Champions League winning manager. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. Some of us have black or white TV. Yeah, that's madness. Charlie said Curtis ITV football show was better than Match of the Day. Beautiful day. No, I didn't like that, you know. I didn't like that. It just didn't feel right. It's a beautiful day. I mean, it's a good song, but it was on at like 7 o'clock at night. It just, you know, nah, Match of the Day was the one, man. Anyway, I never watch Match of the Day anymore, you know, because now with YouTube, you just go, say like the City Sunderland game, you go YouTube, Sunderland City, you watch the 3-minute highlights, you lock it off. I actually don't watch Match of the Day anymore. Do you guys actually still watch Match of the Day? 10:30, 11 o'clock at night, watch a whole hour. I just don't watch it. I do not watch it anymore. It's this generation, innit? Everything's got to be instant, and I'm a part of it. I just go on YouTube, watch the 2-3-minute highlights, and that's it. I haven't watched Match of the Day for probably years. I'm not even joking. But yeah, TV is just not as relevant anymore, is it? To be honest, you want to watch a movie, you go on Netflix. I watch YouTube. Anyway, let's hear what the manager had to say. Are there any fresh injury concerns after Tuesday? We haven't trained yet. Oh my days, he gave them 2 days off. So what? They played Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday off. Well, decent, finally. With the players who started against Villa, we will know more this afternoon. We knew that answer was coming, right? We knew that answer was coming. On if the swelling on Rice's knee has reduced, he says not yet. Now, this is why I titled this Injury Concern Declan Rice, because I saw that quote. Now, for me, number one, I'm a little bit concerned because how was that swelling not reduced yet when he got injured basically a week ago and he's not back yet? So that's bad. If swelling hasn't reduced on his knee in basically a week, then that's not good. Second of all, is it a more serious injury than they think? Well, he talks in riddles, don't he? He never just says Rice is out tomorrow or he's going to be back. It's always a guessing game, isn't it? Listen, they're going to train today. Even if Rice turns up today and the swelling has improved, he doesn't need to play tomorrow. And listen, it's a hard game. We could go there and drop points. But you've got to think about the long term. Declan Rice should not be playing in that game tomorrow. He could be lying and playing mind games, and maybe the swelling has gone and he's playing it as it's worse than it is. And they can drain fluid and do all sorts of things as well to do it. But we've got Liverpool on Thursday. Just don't play him. Don't play him. Don't even bench him. Give him the weekend off. Let that swelling naturally reduce rather than having to give him injections and things like that. We got a massive month. We got 9 games. We got Liverpool on Thursday. I think we can beat Bournemouth without Declan Rice. The problem is, at the moment, we've backed ourselves into a corner where we don't feel comfortable without Declan Rice being in the team. But we've just beaten Villa without Declan Rice. So Arteta needs to learn from that and go, okay, no problem. We've beaten Villa comfortably without Rice. We can beat a Bournemouth team that haven't won in their last 5 Premier League games. So I don't want to see Rice even on the bench tomorrow. Give him the weekend off. Let that leg rest and try and get him ready. Yeah, if there's swelling there, then there's a problem there, right? Stephen Simmons, Curtis, could you please mention my gaming channel? Bless, bro. I mean, is that the title of it? Is it Stephen Simmons? If not, feel free to put the actual name of the channel as well. But no, Declan Rice for me shouldn't even be in the squad tomorrow if he's not fully fit. On Calafiori and Mosquera, he said they are both out. I mean, I think we knew Mosquera was out. Very interesting with Calafiori. You know, last week he turns up, does the warm-up, he's in the 11, he's then out, and now he's out for a week. And he's given us no real indication of how long he's out for or what the injury is. So again, that's a guessing game, but I would imagine Nkapia will play left back. On the selection headache of three strikers, obviously Jesus, Havertz, Gyökeres, even Marino. He said it helps the team, it helps every individual. I think that's what we want. We want to have options with the amount of games on the schedule. Be interesting who he plays up front tomorrow. On our improved discipline this season with 6 fewer red cards, and we actually got a red card at Bournemouth last year, Saliba. He said, we know how important it is to maintain your 11 as much as possible. And we failed to do that last year. We lost both games against Bournemouth. We know the difficulty of that. There's Stephen's channel. Mr. Random's 20 is the channel name. Big up. Make sure you go and have a look at his channel. Inflamed knee is a warning sign. Don't accelerate the healing process. You're right, Emmanuel. Let it happen naturally because you don't know what damage you're going to do. You might get him through this game, but then in 2 games' time, you might lose him. So, nah, don't play him. Don't play him. Leave him out. Can you big me up? I defeated a bear using only my fists. I mean, yeah, well done. Good start to the year. Good start to the year. Maybe it was a teddy bear. Who knows? A poll. Who would you pick, Jesus or Gyökeres? We could do one. Yeah, we'll do one. Give me a second. On what we're considering for the January window, we're open to every option. Yeah, we read that. Short, medium, long. It's always much better. It gives you stability. You don't have to constantly start a new process with a new player. But let's see what happens. Let's see what the news is in the next few weeks, and we'll make the right decision. On if Ethan Nwaneri could go out on loan. Every player is very important. Every player has a role. That role can change throughout the season for different reasons. Everybody has to be ready to play. He loves answering a question without answering a question. Say something specific about him. I think he'll get loaned out if they get a good offer. Could even be Bournemouth. They're one of the clubs being linked. He's good friends with their manager, so probably trust him to look after him. Bournemouth play good football. I think if a good club comes in for Ethan, he'll go. Which is a shame, but the situation he's in, you're better off loaning him. I mean, if I was the manager, he'd get game time, but I'm not the manager. On Football Manager, he gets game time. Beresford said most people get cake for their birthday. I get waffle from the Arsenal manager. Big up Mikel Arteta. We get weekly waffle, you know what I mean? Hart says Gyökeres misfiring. Head says Jesus. Jesus, it is. I'm the same. I've capped on this channel. I don't hide from it, people. I want to play Gyökeres into form. Bournemouth are not playing very well. We've got Liverpool on Thursday. You know, I want him to go to Bournemouth, get a goal, get his confidence up, go and bully Van Dijk on Thursday. The reality of that is he goes to Bournemouth, doesn't play very well, doesn't score, and then gets pocketed by Van Dijk. That's probably closer to the reality at this moment in time. The question is Jesus fit enough to play and start these games and deal with, I don't know. Realistically, Jesus should be playing ahead of him after what you've seen in the last few weeks. But does he think Jesus isn't quite fit enough for that yet? I still don't trust Jesus fitness-wise to get through these games every 3 days. So I think if you start Jesus tomorrow, he probably can't start against Liverpool. So what's the point? So I don't know. It's a tough one. It's a tough one. Maybe you play Jesus tomorrow, but then I would play Gyökeres tomorrow, right? If Gyökeres plays well, you start him against Liverpool. If he plays bad, because the Liverpool game's a harder game, then I think you get Jesus in for the Liverpool game. Havertz is not ready to start yet, in my opinion. He's been out for too long. I'd give Gyökeres one more start, but then you could go the other way around and give Gyökeres a break, bring him back. There's so many choices. Do you know what? You're right. Somebody put it. Let's get the poll up. Who starts up front for you tomorrow? I'm not even going to put Havertz because Havertz been out since August. He's not match fit. It's not even. It's got to be Jay. We'll put. No, I'm not even going to put Marino there. I just really want to go for tomorrow. Jesus or Gyökeres. Who starts up front tomorrow? For you, in your opinion, not who you think the manager's going to start. Who would you start up front? Bear in mind we play Liverpool on Thursday. It's tough because really Gabriel Jesus has earned the start. Let's be real. He's earned the start. He's come in and put in better performances in 20 minutes than we've seen from Gyökeres in probably... Post-injury, Gyökeres has been awful. It's as simple as that. Since that hamstring injury, he's been dreadful. Before the injury, he was starting to get his rhythm and his fitness. The Atletico Madrid game, the Burnley game, the Leeds game. There was some decent performances. Post-injury, he looks like his fitness and everything about... He looks like he's been space jammed, to be honest. He looks like he's forgotten how to play football. He's clearly a guy that's confidence. People have to remember, he's gone to Coventry, got in their team. It's the first time he's been a first-team player. He's ripped it up. He's then gone to Lisbon. He's started. He's bagged loads of goals. He's come to Arsenal. Oh, doubts. Are you good enough in the Prem? Can you play in this system? Is the Premier League a level that you're not quite capable of? This is the first time in his career that as a consistent player, he's had to deal with doubt and frustration and, competition against players that have got big reputations. Jesus in world football has got a bigger reputation than Gyökeres. That's a guy that's, been at World Cups and won Premier Leagues. And it's as much psychological as it is physical at the moment with him, because there's pressure on his shoulders as well and a lot of expectation. So I don't know. But you guys vote. Let me know what you think. Let's get through this waffle and then we'll get out of it. On Enzo Maresca leaving Chelsea, I wish him all the best. I said I like Enzo as a person, as a professional. He's done a terrific job at Chelsea. That decision is being made and I wish him well. What the mood is like amongst the team, it was very good. The game against a top opposition, again, to perform and win in the manner we did was great. Now we focus on Bournemouth. What we learned from the last season defeats to Bournemouth, they were two very different games. Until the 30th minute when Saliba gets surprisingly sent off, it was a different game that we managed. We had some chances, but we managed to lose. A home display at the beginning, it was very dominant. We ended up in a poor way. On how pleased he's been with Trossard, who has most goal involvements this season. I think he's been very consistent, very stable, as have all the front players. And I don't think they all have, mate. I would say because they have contributed through the season so far in a great way, whether it's starting or whether as an impact player, that's what we need. On the hunger from our attacking players to start matches, they want to start, but as well fulfilling their role. They've come in an extraordinary way. Again, I wouldn't say they've been extraordinary. That's something that we have improved a lot. So every time we bring players on, they're deciding games. On our 4-point lead at the top, it's where we are. We are really happy in the position that we are. It can always be better. There are things to improve. The only thing we know is that it's always the next game, and we know how tough every opponent is to beat them. On the consistency required to win titles, he said, yes, we are still in early January. We have another 5 months to go. So far, we have so much more to do. How much we spoke to our players about discipline ahead of the season. He said, we think we talk about it, but at the end of the day, it's the players' decisions. Sometimes it's not even their decision. On Rice's ability to master every position he plays in. Yeah, that's led to an injury, though, unfortunately. He said, I think it's very positive for him, for the team, for the club in general, a football player. Has that mindset and that capacity to adapt. How much he values the expected goal statistic. Oh, what a terrible question. It's another one. As I said before, it's a stat that fluctuates so much. Yeah, I ain't even going to bother reading that. On if Rice should have come off against Brighton. Interesting. They reckon he was, they reckon he was injured in about the 60th minute. And obviously played the rest of the game. He said, no, that's normal. Sometimes you get hit, and throughout the game, you are able, with adrenaline, and because you are warm, able to sustain that. Then the body reacts, and it reacted probably more than we expected. Unfortunately, that's where we are. Well, that's the risk you take, isn't it? When a player tells you he's hurt, but I can play on, that's the manager then to go, well, we're 2-0 up against Brighton. Get him off. He's playing out of position. When you make that choice to continue, that's the risk that you take. It's risk and reward, right? But yeah, Hendon Gooney, are spot on, by the way. Short memories in 22-23. Trossard was in top form. I think he got player of the month. Arteta dropped him for Jesus, the title sheet. Yeah, 100%. I've been very, I don't know, with Trossard. He's a player that all of a sudden you sit there and you go, he's been a good signing. 27 million, he's clutch. There was points, don't get me wrong. I haven't made this up. You've all watched these games with me when I was saying Stella, oh, Trossard, he's playing like he's drunk. Like he's found consistency this season where you're looking at Trossard and going, yo, he's the number one left winger right now. You know what I'm saying? You can play him every week, and he's playing well consistently. That 22-23 season he was, but the manager stopped him from being consistent. Over the last maybe 2 years, he's been plays well off the bench, then starts, has a couple bad games, then he gets dropped. Martinelli comes back in. I think now he has started to show consistency. I do think he has been inconsistent in some of the previous seasons, though. But now I think we might be seeing the best of Trossard since he's been here, to be honest. He's getting his sleep now. Yeah, the Kung Fu Panda is getting his sleep. I'm telling you now, that's our Freddie Ljungberg this season. It wouldn't surprise me if he scores the winning goal in a cup final or something. That is a fantastic point, by the way. That is an absolutely brilliant point. By Tone 688. You perform better when you're valued. That sort of psychological side of it is so important, and bang on what you're saying, because he's known realistically the whole time he's been at the club. I'm here to be rotated with Martinelli. I'll have a few good games, then I'll get dropped, and Martinelli will come in, and then he's going to play, and I'll be on the bench. He now knows he got the new contract. He's the main man in the league. Martinelli's doing well in the Champions League. He probably feels like, I belong here now. I'm not that Brighton player that's trying to prove myself. I am now an Arsenal player. He's 30 years of age. He's experienced. He probably understands his game. That maturity is showing in his game. I think that's a fantastic point. And that's why, even again, now you look back at it and you go, you know what? Probably a masterstroke giving him a new contract. They didn't even extend the time. They improved the money. They probably looked at it and went, right. Because remember, and Arsenal people have told me this, so this ain't coming from me. On tour, Arsenal people were telling me they're open to him going at the right price, right? So the club were willing to let him go at the right price. They've obviously not got the offer they wanted for him. Apparently, Arteta was keen on keeping him as well. They've looked at it and gone, right, we've got to motivate him because he's going through the motions. His contract's running out. Give him a new deal on bigger money. And he's thought, okay, they're backing me here. They didn't buy a left winger. They're giving me a new deal. I'm going to go and prove myself. I mean, Sidorf said, disagree with you. Curtis Trossard has always been consistent. He never got consistent starts most year in 2025. We'll agree to disagree. I agree with you in the sense that he hasn't consistently been the starter, so it's hard for you to get the numbers when you're not always starting. I mean, he got 8 goals last year, 38 games, but they weren't all starts. So, yeah. But I think this is going to be his best season in terms of numbers. He got 12 league goals in 23-24. He's got 5. I think he could get more. And he's got 4 assists. 7's his best. So I think he'll get more assists, definitely, and maybe more goals. Arsenal fans have forgotten how many chances Havertz used to miss. Gyökeres never gets similar chances. Our fans are dumb. I mean, listen, I don't want to say our fans are dumb. Some of them are, a bit delusional. Missing big chances is almost sometimes, it's not as bad, but it can be more worrying not getting chances than missing chances. I think as a striker, the most worrying time is when you're not getting chances, because that means something in your game is not right, or something, or you're not connecting with that team. As a striker, I would rather miss chances than not get a chance, because I know then I've only got to fix one detail in my game. I've got to correct my finishing. My timing might be off. Something might be off. If you're not getting chances, it might be your movement. You might not be quick enough. You might not be strong enough. Your timing could be off. You might not be fit enough. Not getting chances is the ultimate red flag for a striker. I actually used to say when Havertz was playing for Arsenal, I said the one thing about Havertz, he gets big chances every game, which means his movement is probably top quality. Marino gets chances when he plays up front. So I actually think Gyökeres not getting chances is a bigger worry than him getting chances and missing them, because you say, okay, once he corrects those goals and that finishing, it's going to be fine. He isn't even getting chances in games. So he needs some help. I think they need to help him. I don't know. Coaching. Coaching is a forgotten thing nowadays, isn't it? Managers have actually sometimes got to go, do you know what? I'm going to improve him. We're paying a manager £15 million. It ain't just to pick the team and sign the players, improve some of the current players. Maybe the problem with Gyökeres, he's nearly 28 years of age. Sometimes players are hard to coach at that age because their ways have all been developed. I'll be honest, listen, one thing I will say, and I am going to say this now, Gyökeres isn't as good a footballer as I thought he was or hoped he was. He's just not. That's the reality of the situation. Do I still think he can score goals if we create chances for him and build around him? Yes, I do. But he's not as good. He's not a great footballer. Let's be totally honest. He's not a great footballer. You know, we shouldn't be talking about your first touch and holding the ball up. Like, I expect a League Two player to do that. You know, Akinfenwa was doing that. So, yeah, I'll be honest. He's got to do a lot more. You know, I will defend him a bit and blame the system, but the system's got nothing to do with your first touch being off. You know, that's got to be that's a fundamental of anything. So we'll see. We'll see. Comrade said, wishing you a very happy new year. See, I have personally labeled 2026 as a year of belief. Belief in ourselves, our vision, our ideas, and our abilities. Let's go get it, people. And I'm looking at that in terms of us as people, not just Arsenal. I always say it's funny. I don't like to use the year or the change of a date as motivation. You know, I don't think you should live by a calendar in the sense of you're going to allow yourself to create bad habits, but then when the clock goes from the last day of December to January the 1st, you're going to change those habits. I think you can do that today. I don't need the 12 o'clock alarm going off. Oh, it's the 1st of January. Right now I'm gonna eat better. I'm gonna go gym more. I'm gonna sleep better. I'm gonna do that. Like you need to do that anyway. But I do understand that a new year, new hope, new expectation. So people use that as a motivation tool. You go gym today, the gym is ram. Why is the gym ram? Because a lot of people will get there and go, oh, I need to look after my weight and my health. And now I'm going to join a gym on January the 1st. By February the 1st, half of them people have left. You know what I mean? So it's not about short-term gimmicks. It's about motivation for yourself, you know? And listen, using the new year is not a problem. I get that. I do understand the point. But, you know, I talk about, and again, I ain't going to harp on about this. It's like being in a relationship and for 12 months of the year, you don't do anything romantic or nice for your partner. And then on Valentine's Day, oh, because the government have said February the 14th, Valentine's Day, I'm going to take her to a restaurant and buy flowers and do all that. But then the rest of the year, I'm just going to, let me wait until the government tell me to. I've done that. Do things off your own time frame is what I always try and say. Don't wait for 1st of January to start looking after yourself. But yeah, anyway, let's not harp on. That's a whole other debate. I was having a conversation yesterday about the school system, and this guy who I was speaking to is a former teacher. So me and him argue all the time because I say the school system is broken. School system is broken. Big up to you, man. Vibe Iver said, lost my job recently, trying to motivate myself. Life is hard. There will be hiccups. Yeah. Listen, people do get down about things. You lose jobs, you break up with your partner, your financial situation changes. You've got to find a way to bounce back, and you've got to look for new opportunities. But yeah, as I was saying, the school system's broken. You know, I'll be honest with you. I was thinking about homeschooling. But then you want your kids to have the social opportunities that school gives you. It's important for them to be around other kids. But, you know, and again, I'm not going to waffle on. You guys want to hear what Arteta's saying in the press conference. But half of the stuff I learnt in school, I've never used in my life. Yet I sat there for hours on end with a Bunsen burner, with a compass, learning algebra, you know, doing things that I've never used for the rest of my life. Hours on end, exams. So I was watching this program saying children benefit from freedom of expression. Kids are kids. They're loud. They want to run around. They want to, you know, play sports. They want to shout. And what do we do when you're a kid, 5 years old? You sit them in a class. You tell them to be quiet and just listen. And I think you suppress talent sometimes by doing that. Now, I get it. People will say that it teaches them discipline. It teaches them to listen. I understand that. But I left school. I didn't know nothing about tax. Yeah, I need to know about tax. Do you know what I'm saying? But I knew about a Bunsen burner. But I don't know. I was arguing with him all the time. But he's a teacher, so oh no, the school system's great, and you know, no, not really. I don't think it is. I think it's totally out of date. They need to change it completely. But anyway, we'll save that for another conversation. Being an Arsenal fan, you can deal with anything. I told you, you should put Arsenal fan on your CV when you're applying for a job. Elton, you're right. It's not broken. It's outdated. Yeah. I hear that. AMSN, give Trossard pen. Saka would look way rubbish. Trossard would look even better. Stats is not the only way to judge a player. Trossard has always been. He's very intelligent player. Very intelligent. Maths, language, economics. Just because didn't use it doesn't mean no one does. No, but then why can't you structure school more around someone's talents, and you know what, like you treating everybody the same. Anyway, it is what it is. I'm sure you guys understand the point I'm making. Anyway, let me get back to the waffle. I'm waffling myself today on how he reacts to a new injury to our players. So he should be used to it by now. He said, first thing, what can we do better? Second thing is the reality of the sport that we play. But looking back at the last 3 seasons, we have had fewer days of injuries than before. So it's how you look at it. We have injuries that you have to separate, the traumatic ones and the ones that are muscle injuries. We have to improve, but we are better than some other years. How players coming back from injury allows us to be more flexible. At the end, I think we have to talk about performance, not rotation. Yeah, waffle. And if Trossard has gone up a level, I think he's gone up a level every season. He's such an intelligent player, a player that really wants it. He's found his role. He's found his maturity. I just mentioned maturity. And then I think his confidence level is higher. He's a player that can create magic and a very important player. And if he's keen for him to extend his contract, we are happy with him. He knows that we talked about him many times. I think he's happy here. The importance of finishers coming off the bench, very important. And you don't know if you're going to be a finisher or a starter sometimes. On the fact we've not won the league the last 5 times we've been top on New Year's Day. He said, no, let's break it. Let's break the waffle, guys. On the goal to change that statistic. For sure, give me some good ones next time. He wants good stats, people. How desperate the players are to change it. That's what they transmit every single day when they're with us, training or in every match. You can see the desire, the energy they put in, how much they want it. That's what we need. It's still 5 months to go. Take it day by day. Enjoy the process of being where we are and go for it. Oh, man, that was tough. That was tough, people. Per said, took a master's in educational science only to hear people waffle with anecdotes and vague system critiques. Not having it, mate. It's, I suppose it's subjective, isn't it? When it comes to the educational system, you know. Some schools in the state structure teachings around your talent. Exactly. I know that's hard because, you know, you might need more teachers, but Casual Gamer said, Odegaard is so frustrating to watch versus Everton haunts me. Well, at least he's in slightly better form at the moment, and let's hope it continues tomorrow. We obviously play against Bournemouth tomorrow. Big game. Bournemouth haven't won in their last 5 games, so we've got to be winning this game of football. Manchester City play Chelsea. It's an opportunity for us to go 7 points clear, put some pressure on them. Here's the table. City drew yesterday with Sunderland, which was a great result because I think they'd won 6 league games in a row. They are top scorers, but at least we're getting closer to them in terms of goals scored, and we've won more games than them, lost less games than them. Bournemouth at the moment, I mean, Bournemouth are 15th. As you can see, 4 draws and 1 defeat in their last 5. They're conceding. We've got to be beating them. We have to be beating them. It's as simple as that. There are -6 goal difference. It can't be anything other than 3 points. I'm predicting a 2-0 win. Down on the South Coast, I know Semenyo will be very keen to prove himself. It's probably his last game for Bournemouth before he goes to Man City. And we need to get the 3 points and then put the pressure on City and then maybe Chelsea. I mean, I said I ain't doing no Man City watch-alongs, but I might do a watch-along for that Chelsea-City game. I might. Maybe I shouldn't, but then maybe I will. Just because I think Chelsea could get a point. I don't see them beating them, though. I don't see them beating them. 71% of you are saying you would start Victor Gyökeres up front tomorrow. 29% say Jesus. I actually agree with you. I would give Gyökeres one more start, bring Jesus on again. If he doesn't play well tomorrow, I would start Jesus against Liverpool on Thursday. Because, look, Van Dijk and Canate and them, not people saying don't do it. It's just not worth your time. To be honest, I said I wouldn't do City watch-alongs until late in the season because I just don't see Chelsea beating them, you know. Just quickly, Anwar said, school should be about finding your talent. University should be about specialising in that talent. Shame some schools do not teach life skills. The mindset for me in school is still they're creating workers. They don't want to create people who aim for high skilled, high paid jobs. They see that as a dream that is difficult to achieve. I had it in school. What do you want to be when you're older? I want to be a footballer. Okay, but what job do you want? No, I don't want a job. I don't want a job. I want to be a footballer and I'm good at football. So try and encourage me to do it. But they were, no, you know, what if you don't? I get it. Have a plan B. You might not achieve it. I do understand that. And that's the reality of a situation. And obviously, a parent has a responsibility to harness that talent as well. But you spend a lot of time in a school. You know what I mean? You go school from what, 9 o'clock in the morning till about what, 3 in the afternoon, 5 days a week? You know? UK schooling is broken. We are judging fishers on their ability to walk. Yeah, I remember seeing a picture about that. But anyway, let's hope these fish can walk tomorrow. When they play Bournemouth. Bournemouth's a nice beach as well, by the way, but although it's freezing, so they won't be on the beach. But listen, let's hope we can win tomorrow. I'm going for a 2-0 win against Bournemouth. Big up to everyone locked in for your support today on the channel. And final one, Elton said, I always say that neither me nor my high school friends have used protractors, clippers, T-squares, triangles, conical flasks in our adult lives. Yeah, I hear it and I understand it. I can't see anyone live to redirect. I think somebody just said, is anyone live, people? Is anyone live? Surely someone's live. We will redirect if somebody is live, but if not, we will just get out of it. Is anybody live, people? Big Six. They're live now. Let's have a look. Big Six. They're live, yeah. All right. Let me try and redirect. I'll be back tomorrow at 4:30, people. 4:30, 5:30 kickoff against Bournemouth. Let me try and do this redirect. I'm moving like a unks again. I forgot where it is. Where the hell is it? I'm going on crazy here. It's not even showing up. Show more. Where the hell is the redirect bit? Bear with me here, people. Oh, yeah, got it. Right, let's have a look. Big Six. Big Six. Yeah, we'll redirect. We'll redirect to Big Six. Hit them with C Unit Raid. OG's coming back soon, people. I know a lot of you been asking, OG's, what's going on with you and Turkish? OG's is coming back, hopefully this month. Obviously, a lot has changed over the last few months, but we are going to get going with that. So hit him with a C Unit Raid. Tell them OG's Raid, all of that. Big Six alive now, so we'll go over and watch that. Big up to everyone. I'll be back tomorrow at 4:30. Make sure you're here for the watch along. Arsenal against Bournemouth. Enjoy.